Major developments in Trump's growing Epstein scandal. Lawyers for the Epstein estate submitted the convicted sex offender's so-called birthday book to members of the House Oversight Committee. Those documents were released by the committee just minutes ago. This afternoon, Democrats on the panel have posted what appears to be Trump's lewd birthday letter to Epstein, originally reported by the Wall Street Journal this July. It has not been obtained by NBC News. The letter features an imagined conversation between Trump and Epstein in which Trump tells him, "May every day be another wonderful secret." Before the letter's publication, Trump insisted it never existed, even sued the Wall Street Journal for billions of dollars. And yet, the White House is doubling down, with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt insisting Trump neither drew nor signed the picture, adding that Trump would still pursue his defamation suit against the Wall Street Journal. But this letter, it is just one part of a bigger picture. Donald Trump's Epstein woes, they are not going away. Joining us now, former president of NARAL, Elise Hogue, and former campaign manager for Joe Walsh 2020, Lucy Caldwell.
Welcome to you both. So, Lucy, Elise, welcome again. This is, Alicia laid out in the opening, how the White House and Trump claim, oh, this never existed. This is never. And here we have the evidence, and they're now saying, oh, this is all made up. It's a Democratic hoax. But what it says to me, aside from what, Caroline Leavitt has to say standing in front of the podium, we know she's shilling for Trump and she will lie for him. But we see this with our own eyes. We know by now Donald Trump's signature. Not too many people can forge that signature. And you mean to tell me people were forging that signature back in the day for Donald Trump? I mean, so all the credibility around this that they're trying to strip away isn't working. The question for me is, and I'm wondering if it's the same for you, is how much this affirms the nature of the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Because I know if I'm sending someone something like that, they are bro. We run hard together. We got jokes. We got inside jokes. We know things about each other that we don't talk about in loud spaces. That's what that drawing says to me. That there's a relationship here that Donald Trump just does not want the curtain peeled back on. And looks like we may get a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And actually, just last week, there was an op-ed in The Guardian by Stacey Williams, a person that I got to know last cycle, who is a former Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, former supermodel, Hall of Famer, who last year underwent a polygraph. And she said, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were best friends. She dated Jeffrey Epstein, and she accused Donald Trump of having been highly inappropriate with her in front of Jeffrey Epstein. There are many, many women with stories like this. And when you look at the specter of this and you see the way that Donald Trump is acting now relative to how he acted on the campaign trail, he's behaving a lot like someone who has something to hide. And I think that this issue is different than other issues for Donald Trump, because I spend a lot of time looking at the ways in which Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans have radicalized their base. And I tell you, it doesn't matter whether you're an aging Tea Partier or a young conservative or a person who's a Christian conservative. All of these factions within MAGA report that these issues, this sort of swirl around Epstein, whether it's concerns or sex trafficking, whatever, they are highly motivated by this issue. So he has absolutely overplayed his hand. And we're seeing with things like Stacey Williams' op-ed and then now today, this revelation of this really disgusting card, which I wish we could all unsee. There's a there.
I mean, so look, I'm as happy as the next person to sit here and be like, this is fun, right? Like, finally, we get to salivate over some bad news for them. It is actually causing some problems. We should be happy that they are back on their heels. One of the best things about this is they can't get their story straight. Is he an FBI informant? Is he not an FBI informant? Mike Johnson, can you land on a square? And I want to go back to what Lucy is saying, because I think it's really important for Democrats. These are not necessarily people that are coming over to our side, no matter how mad they are at Donald Trump. I think Peter Thiel is pretty happy about this, right? Like, he is looking at J.D. Vance, up and coming, untainted by this scandal, Whereas
Do you think he's untainted, though? Because now he has carried water on this.
he has carried a little bit of water, but I don't know that people are paying that much attention. When you get down to 2028, who is going to be pissed off enough? Can I say that over here? Who is going to be pissed off enough about this to peel it away from J.D. Vance if your choice is a Democrat and you come from one of these factions?
I just want to say before I kick it over to you, Simone, that we are learning as we come on air that breaking just now, the House Oversight Committee has released all of the documents that are in their possession. And it brings me to the question of if the value of this book is actually in the book itself or in the fact that it makes it much harder for Republicans to look away.
Yeah, I think the book is just one of the many things that, first of all, is in the possession of the Epstein estate, one of the many copies, if you will, that are contained in what is known as the Epstein files, right? The files, we talk about them as though like it's something that fits in one little folder or on a flash drive, but it's actually thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of documents. There are pictures, there's video from the government got when they searched Epstein's homes. The files are many things. So this is just one piece, and I think it is it is, yes, what's in the files, but also what will this quest for oversight really reveal? And the conspiracy theories are running rampant, frankly. And to be clear, the conspiracy is not what Jeffrey Epstein did because he did it. The victims are real. The survivors are real. His crimes are real. Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes are real. But the conspiracy is all the conversation around it, outside of that. But there have been investigations in the past. I'm thinking about Watergate, right? Or you even go to the 9/11 Commission. And there have been all these attempts at transparency, aggressive oversight. And Watergate is an example where the aggressive oversight yielded us, some lasting changes until, Donald Trump. And we'll get into that later in the show. But the 9/11 Commission, lots of time and money and energy was spent on getting the truth out there to the American people. And to this day, there's still conspiracy theories that run rampant on the left and the right about what happened on 9/11. And so I wonder, will the daylight here be enough to kind of push the conspiracy theorists to the fringe, or will it just continue to fuel the fires? And what about the survivors? I think there's a lot of audiences here. There's Democrats, there's Democratic elected officials, there's Republican elected officials, there's Republican voters, there's the survivors of Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein's abuse. And I think they all want different things.
And while we're talking about survivors, can we have a moment for Eugene Carroll's win in court today that was upheld, her own case against Donald Trump? It's a very important story.
Very much so. I agree.
So I'm going to piggyback onto Simone's point because, I think all of these pieces come together in a very nice way in terms of narrative. One thing I've learned in my short number of years in politics is narrative and how you tell the story. And for me, to your point, Simone, it's less about those other things relative to Watergate and the Church Commission and all these other moments in our history that weren't about the thing that's central here, and that is the relationship. That's why I started there, because that's the one thing Donald Trump can't unsee, can't undo, can't uncontrol or take control of, is because there's so much evidence out there about the relationship. And so narratively speaking, talking up to your point about 2028 and J.D. Vance, yes, Peter Thiel and company may try to do the backstroke for him, but the more he is forced to go out and stand next to his president and defend him, that relationship becomes a part of his story, too, because you defended a guy who was friends with a pedophile. Now, try that in a sentence and see how it works when you're running for office. And so I think that there's a lot more here to unpack, depending on how the stories play themselves out. But to me, that's what's so important about this moment, this pictorial of this relationship, is the relationship.